Have you ever heard the quote that if you have all the wealth in the world but you aren't healthy, what's the point? Yeah, if you have all the wealth in the world, you're able to put yourself towards the people with the best resources, the best knowledge, the best technology. It's absolutely meaningful. And people that typically say that are just doing well in fitness and not other areas of their life. We should be maximizing every stat. Or maybe not maximizing, because to maximize a certain stat, you have to really only do that and only focus on it. But we should be doing well in every area of our life. So if you're somebody that chose their career first, and you focused all your energy towards your career, whether that's building your own business or working up in corporate. A lot of people are like, oh man, working up in corporate is so bad. It's like, is it really? It's necessary for people to work in corporate. Some people do enjoy it. A lot of people don't, but you knocked off the check mark of doing well financially and you built a lot of great skills by working up. So I don't like that argument either. I also think that's cope whenever people hate on corporate in itself. Right. So if you're a businessman, you're doing well in corporate and you've acquired a lot of skills in those areas and you built up your finances. Super important asset. But now maybe those nights of not getting enough sleep, those nights of not getting enough nutrition, just getting something very convenient, or you're super stressed out, so you get food that just makes you feel better in the moment. I've done that a lot. Whenever I was doing long hours in sales, I would do that. Sometimes I'd be like, man, I'm starving. I just want a dopamine hit. Let me get some food that's not good for me. You're not maximizing your health. And I would see this whenever I would work in sales, that there'd be guys as young as 21, 22, 23, and their numbers would be great. They'd be working these long hours. They'd work on handling objections, do things better and better and better. But I would see them get wrinkles right here in a short period of time. And I don't have a reverse your wrinkle remedy, right? But whenever you do start getting better sleep, whenever you start giving your body the right nutrients with supplements and proper diet, and you're moving around better, getting sunlight, different things like that, you really do start to see these go away. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but you do, right? Because the exterior is supposed to be a reflection of your interior health. Like esoteric, what they say is the best way to quote unquote looks max is just to be healthy. And I would say that's it's pretty true. So you maximize this area, or there's no really such thing as maximizing money. You can always make more, right? But you're doing well in this area and you only have so much energy. So most of your energy you put towards that. Maybe your relationships took a hit, your dating took a hit, your health, your fitness took a hit. Now you're like, okay, I'm doing well here. I'm finally in a position to where I want to take just a little bit of this energy and put it towards my fitness. You are absolutely able to do that. I took the opposite approach. I started off with my fitness. From age 11, I was working out. And then from 15 to 19, fitness was like the only thing in life that I cared about. Endless studies, endless trial and error, treating my body like an experiment, not with PEDs, but with different training programs and diets and things like that. And then I wanted to get better in my relationships. That was actually my next thing, was like, man, I literally wasn't even focused on social skills for 4 years and it was just fitness. And then I was like, I need to do that. So then I started working on that. And then and I was still working at the time and other things like that and still working out. But fitness was something I didn't have to focus on anymore because I fully locked in on that. And then honestly, the next biggest priority to me was dating. So I focused on that 19 to 23. That was my number one priority, was that. And I made huge leaps of progress from being afraid to ask somebody what the time is to doing very well in that category. And then there I was like, okay, I have that in check, I have that in check. And also along that time, it sounds funny because a lot of dating goes against my spirituality, right? Or what it says in the Bible, but my spirituality grew a lot at that time from 21 to now. It's continuing to grow too. So those areas I made improvements, which some of that can sound contradictory, but it is kind of funny, right? So fitness, I locked in. Dating and relationships and friendships, I locked in, focused on my social life. And then my faith. And then, throughout that time I was working, making money, different things like that, but it wasn't my number one priority. Then once I had this business, fitness coaching business, but once 24 hit, I was like, I need to be making six figures. This is inexcusable. That became my number one focus over everything. I need to get the skill set. I need to master this. So really from the time I woke up till the time I fell asleep for about half of last year, actually about 9 months of last year, it was just money was my number one focus, and building skills and investments and different things like that. And I became much better at it, and I was successful at that because that was my number one focus. So there are these areas in our life that we need to get better at, right? And there are going to be times where it is out of balance typically, and you're putting more energy towards that and more focus and time towards it, but then you acquire that skill set and you don't need to put that time towards it anymore. So a lot of people, they go in this order. They go in money, relationships, fitness, and then spirituality. What should it be? God first. I don't know which one should be second, relationship or finance. I don't know the order, but all I know is God should be first, right? But realistically, human nature, that's typically not how it works. But yeah, all I can say though is in those four areas, we do need to excel in all of them to have a fulfilling life, a complete life, and to be the best version of ourselves. So our faith, our finances, our fitness, our relationships. That's dating, friends, family. What I do is I help people that are doing well in these other areas in their life, and I help them get in the best shape of their life. And I do that with full body workouts 3 days a week. That way you aren't living in the gym, and you're also maximizing your results by doing that. So you look better, you feel better, you're healthier. There's different supplements and different things like that and strategies on how to diet. I hope people doing well in these areas get in the best shape of their life, so that way they get that fitness and health area checked off, and also give them systems to be able to do that, because we don't rise to our goals, we rise to the level of our systems, right? So if you guys want my help, DM me on Instagram. It's William Andrew Richardson. You can DM me fit, or if you have any questions and you're not ready for a call right now, just ask me some questions and I can get those answered for you. God bless.